Ah. Huh? Oh. What do you have there, my friend? Leftover breadcrumbs? Not right now. I'm reading The Count of Monte Cristo. It's quite exhilarating. I'm sure if you asked nicely, they would bring you a blanket of your own. It is, isn't it? How about Mr. Cheddar? Yes, that'll do nicely. You're right. They do look like villainous henchmen.
Excuse me?
Judge Bouvier, what a pleasure.
Oh, you're awfully upbeat for a man facing a life between these walls. In fact, that's the reason I'm here today. To make sure you are who you... A name that would later be discovered as a recently deceased cousin. A shameful act of the highest... The way in which Mr. Rosaine was bullied and humiliated was criminal in itself. No man, deserving in your eyes or not, should be treated as such. Ought to be a forgery. Something that would not interest you. But that was not the case, and the priceless piece of art was destroyed. I am satisfied you are Arsene.
I am who I thought I was. Fantastic news.
Is there anything you wish to add?
In the name of honesty, I thought perhaps you'd be interested in some other cases. I thought I would do the right thing. I began with detailing the robbery of the Crédit Lyonnais, the theft in the Rue Babylone, the counterfeit banknotes, the burglaries at the various chateaux, making it clear it was all my work.
Surely you were just opening yourself up to more charges.
You've forgotten what I told the inspector when I was first locked up and he came to see me.
I fear you haven't grasped the seriousness of what you are admitting to.
Quite the opposite. I am well aware, but it's wasted on me, as I have decided that I shall not be present at my trial.
Really? You decided that?
If you suppose I'm going to rot in this concrete hell, you insult me. Arsene Lupin remains in prison just as long as it pleases him, and not 1 minute more. I am sorry, I haven't a card with me. My words catching the sentinel off guard.
Huh?
He eyed me from head to foot in astonishment. Then, without a word, he rang a bell, and the iron gate was partly open. I beg of you not to worry about me. When I wish to escape, I shall not require any assistance. I jested as I passed him returning to my temporary home.
The judge made a point of saying I was to keep a close eye on him. And I get the feeling it's my head on the chopping block if he did this.
Inspector, there's something you might want to see.
If I walk into that cell block, and he's not standing in his cell...
No, he's there. He's just walked himself back to the main gate.
Lupin! Uh-huh. Oh. Um... it's going to... it's got... No, the rat is not... Huh? Oh. Huh? Ah. No. Uh-huh. Huh? Oh.
Inspector, you look fantastic. Have you lost?
Save it.
Have I ever lied to you?
You're serious?
As a heart attack, Inspector. Yes, I have deceived.
Wait just a minute.
And I continue to be nothing but honest with you. As I told Judge Bouvier, I shall be far from this desolate, soulless cell before my trial begins. You have my word. Inspector, you look fantastic.
Save it.
Why not? I'm warming to the place, and my friends are here.
If you think for a minute that we're friends...
Be careful, or your head might not fit through the cell door. I was referring to the guards, and of course, my long-tailed friend.
It wouldn't surprise me if he's manipulated them. Neither of them is the sharpest knife in the drawer. No. Carry on like this. No wonder he's all... You're supposed to be an inspector. It's called common sense. This old dog's... Just some good old... Huh? No. Huh? Huh?
Inspector. Prisoners are allowed to read, aren't they?
If they're reading books, not secret messages from their network of...
They just kept arriving for him. He said they were a gift from his...
I don't care if they're from King Edward VII himself. It's going to be a long day. Ah. Uh-huh. Ah.
Inspector, you look fantastic.
Save it.
What would ever give you that impression?
Disguising as a passenger with phony papers.
They got me on board, didn't they? And I'll have you know, they were some of my man's best work.
I knew he couldn't have done it all alone. He must have a net. It's going to be a... How does he do it? It's going to... Get your head in the... That would be obvious. You're supposed to be an master thief. No wonder he's all... It's called common sense. Get your head in the... I'm hot on your heels. How does he do it? Who said I'm getting slow in my... It's going to... No. Carry on like this. Then that must mean...
That's it. This ends here.
I don't know if I've got it in me to hurt him.
Who said anything about... never mind.
I want him in a new cell. I want his belongings stripped. He needs to learn what life in La Santé is real. But I have one last question for you.
Inspector, you look fun.
Say that
What did ever happen to her missing jewels?
they aren't missing. You stole it.
Without any proof, we shall just have to agree to dis... And that was it. No more luxuries, no more anything. Just me, the cell, and my thoughts.
What did he think moving you to another cell was going to achieve?
Allow me to finish. All will become clear.
It would be wise to consider your next move if you wish to see Del.
It's always a game with him. I can't let him think he's got one over on me.
I hope you've decided to be more forthcoming with your answers.
Perfect. The judge is already frustrated with Lupin. And after he hears about his actions on board that ship, he'll be...
While you decide if this game of yours is worth continuing, we shall hear from Inspector Ganimard.
Keep calm. There's no reason to lose your head now. Quick.
I have only been in a hospital once, at my birth.
How am I meant to prove otherwise?
If I had them, I'd spend them.
There's no way he could forget those bonds were fake.
I was nowhere near that night. The night of the fire, you mean?
Funny how he knows the exact night I'm referring to. I'm more confused now than I... Surely there is more than enough to see that man locked up for the rest of his life.
You're aware of the lack of evidence provided. Thank you. I think we're all very clear on your feelings. Tell me about your relationship with the prisoner. And you were the arresting officer. You must be heavily invested in this trial.
I don't know what the judge is getting at. He committed a crime.
And you feel he should face them today for all his crimes, whether part of this trial or not.
I want him punished for what he's done, as should the judge.
I understand this chase has been going on for some time, through many countries. So many miles you have crossed to apprehend him. A commendable act.
About time I got my dues.
It's something I've always wondered about. Why you?
I had the pleasure of meeting Inspector Ganimard at a young age, and he made his mind upon me, on the spot. Since then, he's made it his life's work to hunt me down.
To play devil's advocate, that is only one side of the story. You must have been up to something when you first met.
That may be so. And we'll save that for another day. But you can't deny it. I think without me, he'd have nothing.
Inspector, I'm beginning to question your involvement. Something makes me think you've invested a personal stake. Are you even sure of this man's identity?
I am. I was.
Inspector, take your seat. Lady Gerland, thank you for being here today.
If it finally means I can get my jewels back.
Your jewels? Are they not?
We'll get to that. I have some questions, and I'd like...
I bet you weren't expecting to see her again.
If anything, I actually think Inspector Ganimard was more upset by the time she was finished.
I need to keep her away from mentioning the jewels. Easier said than done with her loud mouth.
harrowing experience of my life. He terrorized that ship and made our voyage a living hell.
That's it. Paint a picture of a devilish criminal.
Bernard d'Andrézy. I knew we shouldn't have trusted him. I knew it.
Perfect. The judge will see Lupin had prepared it all.
That's him in the dock, isn't it? Lock him up and throw away the key. He steals from the Gerland family, he pays the price.
Perfect.
And, lastly, just so I understand, Lady Gerland's stolen jewels have been retrieved?
Isn't simple? No, they weren't. No thanks to him.
So, Lady Gerland is a liar?
Not a liar as such.
Not a liar at all. You useless excuse for an inspector.
At least she said it.
Order! Order in the court!
Ganimard's ace in the hole hadn't worked, unless his plan was to be deafened and embarrassed in front of the entire courtroom.
He must have been seething, without any proof that you had the jewels.
He had nothing. Well, not exactly nothing, but I wasn't going to make it easy for him to find.
I need to get in his cell.
I've got the key, right here.
Less talking, more unlocking. Uh-huh.
It's been a couple of days now. He's not looking so good.
He's getting food and water, right?
We're bringing it to him, but most of the time he doesn't touch it. Nothing. I don't think he's got it in him anymore.
He's not a frail old man.
Take a look for yourself.
It's going to... Oh. Oh.
Inspector, what's that?
What does it look like?
It looks like a secret passageway. Did you know?
Do you really think I put Arsene Lupin, the most dangerous criminal in all of France, in a cell with a secret? Oh. Uh-huh. Huh? Um... Huh?
Hello, Pine Top. What are you doing sitting around here with your head hung down, looking so got all these piano players going around here making big money playing on these records. So why don't you play on some of these records? That's a good idea, boy. I believe I'll start rehearsing right now.
Ooh.
You wanted him to find it all, didn't you?
He had to understand that he had done everything I required of him from the moment he stepped on La Provence. Although, not everything in there was necessarily for his eyes.
You must have known he'd find the letters.
I suspected it, and I thought he would use them against me. But I think the next time he saw me, he realized that another escaped attempt was the last thing I was going to do.
We've heard from one of your victims and supposed evidence of your crimes. Do you have anything further to add?
Désiré Baudru.
Inspector, take your seat.
Please, Judge Bouvier, I can prove to you and the entire court this is Arsene Lupin.
On your own head be it. Proceed.
This is it. Time to shine. You have said to me, to my face, that you have never lied to me. I hold a man at his word.
Inspector, the relevance?
I assure you, Judge, it's relevant.
Relationship? Is my wife here?
The old decrepit man card can only be played for so long.
Maybe she wouldn't want to receive them if I've been so rude to her.
He's not fooling anyone. We both know the pain he caused that poor
Really, Arsene? Again?
You really are a stickler for the facts. Okay, then.
This is it. Time to shine. Please. You have said to me, to my face.
Inspector!
I assure... She said it herself. I believe her exact words were, a trickster of the lowest form. No one likes having their misdeeds thrown in their face.
Inspector.
I found your unsent letters to her. Unless he didn't write them.
I know. I just got carried away.
You wanted these stories to be an accurate portrayal.
And they will be. Trust me.
This is it. Time to shine. You have...
Inspector!
She said it herself. I believe her exact words were, no one like...
Maybe she wouldn't want to receive them if I've been so rude to her.
He's not fooling anyone. We both know the pain he caused that...
Inspector Ganimard, guilty or not, I will not have you badgering the prisoner.
Nothing. Not even a grimace or a look. That's it. The eyes.
You're treading on thin ice, Inspector.
Allow me this, and I can prove whether or not this is Arsene Lupin. It's not him. How could he? How have I lost him again? It's not him.
Excuse me?
It's not him.
For everyone to...
It's not him. It's not Arsene Lupin.
Order! Order in the court!
The judge continued to question the man in the dock, Désiré Baudru, in case you hadn't caught his name. He informed the court of how he was grabbed by two officers while standing outside the police station as I was returning, a case of mistaken identity to the judge. When asked why he remained in La Santé, he replied,
I had a roof over my head and no worry for my next meal. I don't mind a rat or two.
The courtroom erupted with laughter, all except Inspector Ganimard. I'm sure you can imagine the look on his face.
I don't understand how he could have answered Ganimard's questions, though.
Mr. Baudru, having considered all that has gone on today, I hereby declare you a free...
Could I ask a question?
You are not alone in having questions today, Mr. Baudru. What is it?
Will I still get my dinner?
You can't be.
After the manner in which you've been treated, one last meal is a minor request. And as for you, Detective...
Judge?
I would think long and hard before bringing anything like that disastrous display into my courtroom again.
It's Inspector.
You did it!
I'm a man of my word.
I can't imagine Inspector Ganimard was prepared to accept it all, though.
Couldn't have said it better, my friend. In fact, he took it upon himself to stalk Monsieur Baudru through the streets, waiting for something to happen, I suppose.
And did it?
It did. But I don't think it was what the inspector was expecting.
Why me? Why is it always me? I'm the laughing stock of the station again. That old man knows something. I don't know what, but I'm going to find out. Here we are.
The policeman from the courtroom. Is that you?
You know exactly who I am, and I want to know who you really are.
I'm sure I have no idea what you mean.
Not giving me a straight answer. You've certainly taken a leaf out of his book.
If you really want to know,
Look closer. It certainly has been some ride.
I almost caught you, didn't I?
You certainly gave it a good old-fashioned try. 1, you never actually had me. 2, refresh my memory of what I lost while escaping La Santé without climbing a single wall.
Miss Underdown, if this is the last time we stand face to face, I want to see some honesty. Maybe even a glimmer of guilt for what you did.
I regret not showing her the real me from the start. I had hoped she might be present at the trial, and then, who knows?
Hope? You'll need plenty of that if you're going to convince her to be with you.
To live without hope is to cease to live.
Ever the wordsmith. I do have one last request.
I should like to know if you intend to reveal the true state of facts connected with your escape, the mistakes that I made. The words came as an almighty struggle to the inspector, admitting his part in it all. It is to my own interest to surround myself with mystery, and therefore have no fear, I shall say nothing. And now, goodbye. I am going out to dinner this evening. Where do you dine tonight? The inspector continued, still in a state of stunned bewilderment. With the British ambassador.
Your time battling Inspector Ganimard was over then.
I was free to breathe clean air, roam as I pleased, and Ganimard had egg all over his face. I had solidified myself as the victor.
What was next for you? I wondered if you might have sought out a particular person after being released.
Were you not listening? Inspector Ganimard and I had gone our separate ways. He hung up his badge soon after. My days of frivolous crimes were over.
That's not exactly who I was thinking of. I understand you saying that, but your actions say otherwise.
You mean the events at Château de TB? I stand by my statement. It was a series of unexpected surprises that might make you think otherwise. It is really remarkable, Velmont, what a close resemblance you bear to Arsene Lupin. If you were not the celebrated artist whose beautiful marine views I so admire, no doubt I'd have warned the police of your presence in Dieppe, exclaimed the host to his surrounding guests. This sally was greeted with an outburst of laughter, but there was one who was not focused on the amusing side of his resemblance, but the opportunistic.
Tonight is a night of celebrations. I look around this room and I see close friends, old and new. Some who began as colleagues, some even come.
Surprise, surprise. George is talking business.
And that'll be the last of it. Besides, they are now those I consider my most formidable ally.
That's enough of all that sentimental malarkey.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Now, mingle, eat.
While an invitation to tonight's party was the aim of the game, I wasn't expecting to be surrounded by so many former acquaintances. I'll have to be on my best behavior. When am I not? Good evening.
I've not seen you with this crowd before. Who are you?
Horace Velmont. I only met George recently at a casino and...
A gambling man, eh? You'll fit right in.
I'm currently betting on the odds of you finding some manners, and it's not looking good. Good evening. And you are?
Le Baron Cahorn.
Riveting conversation, as always.
We frequent the same auction houses.
An art collector. Fascinating. You must have acquired quite a collection yourself.
I did have. I'd rather not talk about it.
A sore loser. Sometimes it's better to just accept the hand one's been dealt.
I have no idea. This is the first time I've left my home in... I should have just stayed.
I'll second that.
How are we supposed to figure it out if you're not going to tell?
I didn't get to where I am today without solving a few problems.
Or eating a few pies. All right, I'll tell you, but you'll never get it. A beacon through the darkness and struggles that stand before us. Without its guidance, we would be lost, wandering alone, aimlessly through the hardship.
I have no idea.
A childish game anyway.
Why am I not surprised it fell on deaf ears? Except mine, that is.
How are we supposed to figure it out?
I didn't get to where I am.
Or eaten. All right. A beacon through the dark.
I have no idea.
A childish game.
Why am I not Let me guess. Captain? Horace Velmo.
Well, seafarer or landlubber, it's good to meet you.
Not what I expected. In a social surrounding, he's a different man.
George is a keen sailor and a dab hand with a rod. There's no better path.
I am no fisherman, but there was this one time. Well, apparently it got away.
I bet it was a real sea monster. Never mind it getting away, as long as you had fun.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And slipping his watch from his pocket was indeed fun.
Land legs! Very good. I must admit, I do miss the gentle sway of my ship. La Provence, my pride and joy.
I'm a painter myself. That's how George and I got talking, albeit around the cards table.
He does like his art. You should speak to the Baron. He's a collector. If you can get a word out of him.
Is everything all right? This is supposed to be a party.
You try enjoying yourself with your captain watching over you.
Have I stumbled upon a Navy reunion?
If I knew he'd be here, I wouldn't. We haven't always seen eye to eye, but he's my superior officer. That's all I've got to say.
I should probably put my hand up to most of the recent conflicts.
If I could have everyone's attention for just a moment, I wanted to say...
Oh, haven't we already done this?
You're right, but you're going to want to hear this. On second thoughts, join me in the salon and I'll explain when we're all comfortable. Much better. Now, you may or may not know that you all, excluding my new friend Horace here, have been on the losing side of Arsene Lupin's crimes.
That was meant to be kept a secret.
Airing out everyone's dirty laundry, are you now, George?
I've not brought you here to rub your faces in it. I want you all to be here for his capture. Chateau de Thibermesnil is perfect. The art, the riches, the secrets, he won't be able to resist.
What makes it any more secure than my Chateau de Malaquis?
You allowed strangers into your home, strangers that stripped your gallery and left you...
With nothing.
With nothing. While you relied on an inspector, I've gone one step further and found the only man that can put a stop to Arsene Lupin. Well, who is it?
Yes, I'm eager to know.
Tomorrow at 4 p.m. sharp, the famous English detective Herlock Sholmes will be arriving at Chateau de Thibermesnil's gates.
When one adversary is defeated, another.
Herlock Sholmes? As in...
I was as surprised as you.
Really, Arsene?
Would I lie now? I must admit, hearing of his arrival initially gave me a moment of apprehension, but that was quickly replaced with urgency and excitement for what was to come.
choice, my friend.
Thank you again for inviting me. I feel a little...
Intimidated? Ha! Don't worry, they're all harmless. Now go on, make yourself at home. You liked it? I hoped you would. Like I said, most of them have dealt with Lupin. You haven't. I can get an honest opinion.
About what?
My plan, obviously. There's no way Lupin can resist trying to rob me. Trying being the dominant word.
Are you going to set some sort of trap for him?
That's the beauty of it. He's gonna trap himself. I think he knows about the secret tunnels, and when he can't find his way out, Detective Sholmes will be there waiting.
He has high expectations of Detective Sholmes and exceptionally low of me. I call that naivete.
If you want to be the best, you gotta beat the best. And in this case,
it's not a little overkill to bring him all the way from London?
It didn't take much persuading. Since Lupin's been on the run, news of his antics has spread. Catching him is as good as a done deal.
While I hadn't expected this evening to turn how it has, I'll enjoy bringing Monsieur Devanne and his hired detective back down to earth.
What did you know of Herlock Sholmes at the time?
I'd heard of his successful cases, as I'm sure you had. His name was all over the newspapers. Still, it wasn't enough to worry me. If I'd prepared correctly, I'd be long gone before he even arrived.
Leaving another lawman in your wake.
It really is uncanny. If you were next to each other in a police lineup, I couldn't tell the difference. You would not believe the history of this place. I've got a book, Chronique de Tibermenil. It's got everything about the castle,
the secret tunnels. And you think Lupin knows how to access them?
There's another version of the book that's kept in the National Library at Paris. And would you believe it? It was stolen recently.
He suspects more than I give him credit for. Not that it's going to help him. He's right, though. I'm going to need a copy of the Chronique de Tibermenil from the cabinet.
To show that I'm not a pushover like everyone else. They all had the arrogance to underestimate him. Look where that got them.
And I'd argue that's exactly what he's doing. And with the help of Detective Sholmes, you'll catch him?
The world will know the name. Devanne.
I get the feeling Georges is more interested in his own fame rather than seeing me locked up. How disappointed he shall be.
When will they learn?
To be fair to Monsieur Devanne, if ever there was a trap that Arsene Lupin would fall into...
I just don't understand the arrogance. Why set the challenge at all?
Like he said, if you want to be the best, unfortunately for him, he's far from it. Huh.
The landlubber. Yes, my first mate.
Is it custom to bring your crew to parties?
Most definitely not. I like to keep my work and private life as separate as possible, especially with certain members of mine. Indeed, he did steal from me. He terrorized my guests. He was a menace from the moment he snuck on board.
At least that inspector was able to catch him. That must have been a relief.
It was until his trial. You must have seen it. Wasn't even him in the dock. You do bear a striking resemblance to him, you know.
I've heard. I'm not sure I believe it myself. While I don't think the captain has the slightest inkling of my true identity, I don't want to give anyone any reason to be suspicious. Oh. Ah. Oh. Heh. Aha. Huh? Ooh. Oh.
I try not to when I don't have to.
I'm sure I just heard him say he was the best fisherman on his ship.
Him? He's barely capable of catching a cold.
I was under the impression he was a keen fisherman.
Keen, but useless.
Looks like reminding him of the captain's little white lies could do the trick.
He's not wrong. If my chess partner here happens to secretly be Arsene Lupin.
And before I'm locked up, again, that was a joke. Just not a very funny one.
He's as incompetent as he is delusional.
One more little push.
Look, I know you're just making conversation, but I'd rather not talk about him.
Now I've gone and done it.
I'm glad it isn't just me, then.
We can't be perfect all the time. He did mention some other things earlier that I thought were a bit stray.
He's not wrong. If my chess partner here happens to secretly be Arsene Lupin.
And before I'm locked up, again, that was a joke. Just not a very funny one.
He's as incompetent as he is delusional.
One more little...
We've already been through this. It was that thief in disguise.
Maybe the captain was talking about someone else.
He was talking about me. If he really thinks I'm just gonna sit here and...
Buttons pushed. You should tell him how you feel.
It's not a good idea.
I'll do that. Thanks, Horace.
Velmont, are you up for a challenge? If you can beat me with a single move, I will admit defeat.
How could I say no to another opportunity to embarrass Mr. Rosen? One move is all I need.
Confident, aren't we? I don't think you realize who you're up against.
Ah.
Velmont, are you up for a challenge?
How could I say no to another opportunity to embarrass Mr. Rosen? One move is...
Confident, aren't we?
Huh?
Well,
One move is all I need.
comfy.
Huh.
How did you? Here, take your key. Oh, I made it easy for you. I wouldn't want to embarrass you.
I'm up for another round if you are.
I would, but I've got somewhere else to be.
Even I felt how satisfying that was.
Monsieur Leblanc.
I'm not condoning your other activities, but there's something about seeing a man like that
Embarrassed?
corrected.
Uh-huh. Heh. Um... Oh. Ooh. Huh.
It's you again. He took everything from me that I cherished. It was once a gallery full of exquisite pieces, and now...
Bare, empty, desolate.
Why ask if you already know?
It's not hard to see what the Baron considers important. Nothing makes a man more vulnerable than loneliness, except greed. And he has both in...
I was, until it was destroyed at the hands of that detective.
I think he's an inspector. Sounds like he caused more damage than good.
Exactly. And it is me who had to pay the price. Twice!
There's a part of me that almost feels sorry for Inspector Gaminau taking all of the blame. I did say almost.
Huh? Oh. Ah. Huh. Hey.
How can I help you? I'm afraid Mr. Devan is very particular about the fireplace.
That's all right. I'll maybe head out for some fresh air. If the thermostat is inconveniently placed outside. Huh. Oh. Huh? Hey.
Is it me, or is it getting hot in here?
You're looking rather flushed. Let me get you a drink.
Ask the maid, she'll get it. Just a water. I want to keep a clear head.
How can I help you? Right away.
And voila, chaos ensues. How clumsy.
If you'll excuse me, I should get out of these wet rags. Let's have this cleaned up by the time I'm back, yes?
Right away.
Good evening, Mr. Belmont. Accident?
I think the maid might have spilled some water down our hose.
I'll tend to the situation immediately.
Perfect. That's one out of... We all get it wrong. Really? Uh-huh. Oh.
Baron Cajon. What is it now? By whom?
To whom do you think you are talking?
It's not just a thermostat with rising temperatures.
I'm not a big drinker.
Your drinks cabinet would say otherwise. I don't have time for this. If you won't take the hint...
How dare you! Georges! Where's Georges?
I know you can get carried away.
Are you implying I'm not telling every detail down to the letter?
I think your response says it all.
Baron Cajon. What is it? By whom? I think I'll wait here until he returns.
Not the obedient guest I was hoping he'd be.
I'm not a big drinker.
Your drinks cabinet would say other... I don't have time for this. If you won't...
I've had it up to here with you. Just wait until Georges hears about this.
Now I've gone and done it.
I'm glad it isn't just me, then.
We can't be perfect all the time.
Baron Cahor, what is... By whom? If he wants to speak to me, he can find me.
Charming.
Never once has even a member of my own staff spoken to me like that.
I don't have time for this. If he won't take the hint.
How dare you! Georges! Where's Georges?
Really, Arsene? Again?
You really are a stickler for the facts. Okay, then.
Baron Cahor, what is... By whom? I think I'll wait here until he...
Not the obedient guest I was hoping he'd be.
Never once has even a member of my own staff...
I don't have time for this. If he won't take the hint.
How dare you! Georges! Where's Georges?
Really, Arsene? Again?
You really are a stickler for the facts. Okay, then.
Baron Cahor, what is it now? By whom? To whom do you think you are talking?
It's not just a thermostat with rising temperatures.
Never once has even a member of my own staff spoken to me like that.
How dare you! Georges! Where's Georges?
And goodbye, Baron. I know I make things look simple.
I don't envy the lengths you had to go to.
It would have been easier to have just been honest with him. That would have sent him running.
As well as the police, for you.
Oh. Ah. Heh. Huh? Ooh. Aha. Huh. Oh. Oh. We all get it wrong. Huh? Ah. Heh. Huh. Ah. Maybe I should just hang up my book. It's not like my freedom hangs. Nope, that's not. I'm going to have to look at it. We all get it wrong from back to the drawing board. Really? Back to the drawing board. Really? Maybe I should just hang. It's not like my friend. Nope, that's not it. We all get it wrong from... I'm going to have to look at... Back to the... I'm going to have to... Maybe I should just hang...
You made short work of a 200-year-old riddle? Secrets held only by the king.
That's where following the clues and some common sense gets you. And a little snooping, of course.
After discovering the secrets of the house, you must have had free rein to roam as you pleased.
It wasn't long before the other guests returned. But once Monsieur Devan declared that he was leaving to pick up some more guests, others soon took the hint and retired to bed. I'd have to wait until night fell to make my move. Heh. Oh. Huh? Uh-huh. Ooh. Oh. Huh? Huh. Ooh. Uh-huh. Heh.
Then all you had left to do...
All you had left? A successful burglary takes more than just lifting art off the wall.
Excuse me, I didn't mean to belittle your craft. Please, continue. You can't stop there.
Who said anything about stopping? We're merely moving to the following day. Monsieur de Vannes.
No. You were standing in the gallery, arms and pockets full of stolen goods. Someone was coming, and you expect me not to query who it was?
In time, I promise. For now, picture this. Monsieur de Vannes has discovered his gallery empty. A detective has arrived at his gates alongside a truck full of furniture. Arriving at the chateau, having traveled across the channel at Georges de Vannes' request, he certainly had his work cut out for him. Never before had the traveling detective arrived at the crime scene where the stolen goods had been returned. If his reputation was correct, he would surely make short work of the investigation.
Impressive.
Who? The detective? I suppose so.
Green is not your color.
Jealousy never came into it. I'm just glad someone showed up to help. De Vannes was never going to work it out himself.
You're here. Fantastic.
Was there an expectation that I wouldn't arrive?
No.
I traveled most of the night and boarded my final train at 3:45 p.m. so that I may arrive promptly at 4 p.m.
Well, then you're right on time. It's not that easy. First of all, he took everything.
That didn't appear too tasking.
But this afternoon, everything was returned.
Then I am no longer needed. I doubt he will return, knowing he has already bested you.
Wait, you can't. You need to figure out how he got in. What if he does come back? You're the best, if anyone can catch him. The furniture, the artwork, the valuables, everything.
How were they delivered?
You must have seen the wagon outside. The clock struck 3 p.m. and in it rolled.
Huh. Oh. Ah. Ah. Oh. Huh? That points to nowhere. Elementary. There has to be a more... I have my methods for a reason. I'll never catch him. It would be wise to take a sec. It would be wise to take a sec. There we have it. When you have eliminated the impossible.
You're the best, if anyone can catch him. You're the... Fascinating, isn't it? I still can't believe I'm following in the footsteps of such character.
I'm more interested in the secrets surrounding the building itself.
You want to solve the riddle of the secret tunnel, don't you? Wait. Could Lupin have already...
Now you're thinking like a detective.
A detective? Well... But he can't have. He'd need both editions of the books and the riddle that only the owners of the house have access to.
Even after his home has just been ransacked, he still doubts Arsene Lupin's skills of deduction and reason.
Of course I haven't. Except for maybe last night, after I announced you were arriving.
Congratulations. You gave Arsene Lupin the answers he was...
He was here, in my house, during my party?
I have no doubts. In fact, I met him on my way here. Excuse me, I have found myself in a moment of need.
Then you've stumbled upon the right man. How can I help you?
Is this the way to Chateau de TB?
Yes, monsieur. Straight ahead.
His face, his mannerisms. Arsene Lupin is known as a master of disguise. But could his greatest disguise be himself?
No keener admirer than myself.
Most kind. You are leaving?
I thought it best to exit before I outstayed my welcome. My exit will make way for your grand arrival.
Don't tell me this chance interaction was all part of another drawn-out plan.
It wasn't. Just a stroke of luck. And I prefer long-term planning with multi-stage reveals. It sounds more professional, meticulous.
You're lucky he let you walk away.
As if an opportune moment like that would be how this story ends.
There has to be a more... I'll never catch him. That points to... When you have eliminated the impossible. Elementary. It would be wise. I have my methods for a... I'll never catch him thinking... There we have it.
He didn't really say that, did he?
You weren't aware?
I am now. How could he? If anything, it was a great victory for me. I did what I set out to do, and even returned it all out of the goodness of my heart.
The goodness of your heart?
Okay, so my hand might have been forced. At least I don't need to feel bad anymore.
Anymore? Arsene, what did you do?
Uh-huh. That points to... There has to be a... There we have it. Huh. Ah.
Huh?
That points to nowhere but failure. It would be wide. I'll never catch him. When you have eliminated the impossible.
Oh. Oh. Ooh. Ah. Ooh.
Is there something you... Mr. Devon is very particular about the use of the fireplaces. He requests them fairly infrequently.
And last night?
Both the salon fireplace and the conservatory fireplace were lit during the gathering last night.
There has to be a more... I'll never catch... There has to be a more... Elementary. I have my methods for a reason. I have my methods for a reason.
How can I help you? Everything was tidied and clean after the gathering concluded. Nothing unusual or strange marks, if that's what you're asking to
The smallest detail could be helpful.
Besides the small incident with water being spilt over Mr. Devon last night, there's been nothing out of the ordinary.
That points to no... It would be wise to take a... That points to... Elementary. I'll never catch him when you have eliminated the impossible. There we have it. It would be wise to take a second look. There has to be a more logical option. When you have eliminated the impossible. I'll never catch. It would be wise to take a... I have my methods for a reason. There has to be a more... That points to nowhere but... It would be wise to take... That points to nowhere... Elementary. There we have it.
Aha. Oh. Aha. Ooh. Huh?
Oh. Ah. Huh. Ah. You're the best, if anyone can catch you. What did I say? The right man?
It was quite simple when approached logically, as was the riddle. How it baffled so many for so long, well...
Look at the state of this place.
I thought you appreciated the history of the house.
I do. I just wish it were a little tidier.
I get the impression Mr. Devane isn't as interested or invested in the history of the chateau as he first implied. Rather, just its what? This candle has been lit recently.
Meaning someone, Lupin, has been here.
Yes, very good.
Oh.
You told me you didn't orchestrate that meeting with Detective Sholmes?
And that is the truth. But while he hesitated to seize his moment to apprehend me, I took mine to get on the front foot and set the stage for my next adversary.
You just couldn't help yourself.
You say it as though I hadn't learned anything. I no longer cared for what the wealthy considered valuable. My time in La Santé had shown me that there were more important things than material treasures.
Like going head-to-head with a detective from England?
Like not only challenging and pushing myself, but those that are there to protect the innocent of this world. How can they put their faith in those they believe they can trust if they are outsmarted by the likes of me?
We are both aware Arsene Lupin is no ordinary man.
A watch? How did it get here?
It appears that...
It's yours, isn't it? But to return it... Herlock Sholmes' watch, stolen by Arsene Lupin. Excuse me, it's just that it was you that said he wasn't to be underestimated, and now this.
A clever man indeed. Someday, we shall have the pleasure of meeting again. The world is just too small. I'll never catch him. It would be wise to... That points to no... There we have it.
Excuse me, sir. Is this the way to the castle? the well-dressed and polite man asked. Yes, monsieur. Straight ahead. They are expecting you. My friend Devan told us that you were coming, and I am delighted to be the first to welcome you. Herlock Sholmes has no keener admirers than myself. The irony of such a meeting seemingly and understandably lost on the unaware detective.
Inspector Ganimard wasn't enough of a challenge for you?
As Monsieur Devan said, if you want to be the best, you must beat the best, thus concluding.
What? No, that can't be the end of it. Why did you return Monsieur Devan's belongings? Who found you the night of the burglary?
There's really nothing more to tell. It's not necessary for the story we're telling.
You want the truth to be known? Now is your chance.
You aren't going to let this go, are you? It's you, Miss Nelly.
Miss Underdown.
No longer Miss Nelly. The face that kept my mind sane during the long months imprisoned. Now a stranger. Of course.
No, I'm sure you didn't. I was invited as a guest. I presume you were not?
Not directly. Although, I suppose...
I'll take that as a no.
It's obvious that she hasn't forgiven my previous deceptions.
What is there to say? Your actions speak for themselves.
How am I to prove my feelings for her are and always have been true if she won't let me speak?
I have nothing to say.
Will you at least listen? If I can hear the desperation in my own voice, surely she can too.
I shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be here. I can't even imagine what you'll be doing then.
Everything will be returned. The furniture, the art, everything. You have...
Everything?
Everything. Then can we talk?
Listen. Footsteps. I hear someone.
I don't hear anything.
You must go. You must escape.
There it is. A flash of hope. She must still care. Nothing in the world could make me break that promise. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
I understand now why you returned everything, but I don't understand how you did it.
It was you that spoke of the return of the army wagon full of furniture.
That I know, but how did you organize it from the house? You must have been surrounded by guests and staff.
Need I remind you of my title?
How could I forget?
I made a promise to Miss Nelly that Monsieur Devan's belongings would be returned. And I intend to keep. Yeah. Ooh. Have I not kept my promise?
I can see everything has been returned, but I fear for the wrong reason.
There's no question about it. This is my last chance to prove to her I'm no longer the man she reads about in the newspaper.
Why did you return Mr. Devan's belongings? Do you really expect me to believe you?
You must take me at my word.
Your word is worth very little.
If I want her to believe me, telling her what I think she wants to hear isn't the answer.
If I hadn't caught you, would you have returned today? You don't know the difference between the actual truth and what you've convinced yourself of.
The truth is rarely pure and never simple.
You won't convince me of your lies with cleverly worded riddles. Have you committed any other crimes since you escaped? And your arrogance stops you from admitting it.
Many confused confidence with her.
The ignorance to think your antics wouldn't make the national and international papers. I've read about everything.
Everything?
Your time in Turkey, the aliases, Floriani Night and Captain Giano, the burglaries in Montigny, everything.
If she knows the details surrounding my time in Turkey, she'll know of the good I did in the name of my female traveling companion. There may still be hope.
Why do it all? The burglaries, the deception, the lies. All you've shown is how conniving and manipulative you are.
She's right. For so long I tried to convince myself, but now I understand. I can use my skills for good.
This is your last chance. What do you have to say? Except for trying to escape and toy with the inspector?
Can you not separate the past from the present? Look at me, if only for a moment, as you did when I was Bernard d'Andrézy.
When you were someone else completely.
I am still that man.
And you are still Arsene Lupin.
Without saying a word, she pointed to a ring he was wearing on his forefinger, which consisted of a magnificent ruby. The ring belonged to Georges Davan. Once a thief, always a thief.
I'm sorry, that's how it ended.
Our futures were never destined to align. I think I realized that long before our surprise meeting.
The unsent letters addressed to her?
Initially, I kept them as a reminder of the man I could have become and the life I could have had.
You've always claimed you sat in a gray area of the law. A Robin Hood of the 20th century.
Did you come up with that yourself? It's very good. While I don't agree with many of the terrible crimes committed, I cannot agree with many of the laws forced upon our citizens.
While we're on the subject, Lady Gerland's jewelry. I know now it's not why you boarded La Provence, but surely you didn't let it all just sink to the bottom of the dock.
It is only through mystery and madness that the soul is revealed.
Ah, of course. What does that mean?